Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, and welcome back to another video series on Zazzle and how you can profit on the Zazzle marketplace, which is a print-on-demand platform that Jen and I have been incredibly successful with, and our clients as well, who have used our very important framework, which is the 5 strategies to succeed and create very successful, lucrative businesses, some of which are at 100,000 plus a year in take home from the Zazzle platform, and that means that that's pretty much profit. So if you like that sort of thing and you're new and you like, welcome to our channel. If this is your first video with us, we're Zazzle expansion experts. We love that platform. A lot of other people give you advice, but they are on every other platform out there. We're very focused on Zazzle, so stick with us here. We're going to go deep dive into pricing today to make sure that you are competitive, but it's more than just pricing. And so that we want to give you that hook to see that you'll stay to the end, because we have a lot of really important lessons that we learned from when we first started and made very little money, like $90 in our first year, which, at this point we were like, how did we get from $90 to making almost, like in Jen's case, almost $100,000, and me consistently somewhere between $100,000 to almost $200,000 a year in Zazzle payouts. And a lot of people can't even fathom those numbers. Some people go like, well, that doesn't seem like a lot, but it means that we actually, based on what we're going to tell you here, sold millions of dollars, right? And then the take home that we got for not doing much more than putting our products out there is pretty darn good. And as always, we can't make any income claims. This is educational, but it's also our life experience with the Zazzle platform and our clients' experience and their successes or failures. And so what we're here to do is give you some lowdown on what you can do for pricing. So let's get started. Because I just want to do one more thing. The misnomer is that most people go and say, well, I can't justify being on Zazzle because I don't get as much of the profits, or other places let me mark it up higher. And we're here to say that that's not the way to do the business model, because you want to balance it with what do you get for that money that you pay that other company or whatever to do that work while you're busy creating more assets for your business. So if you can stick with that in mind, stay curious while we're doing this, you're going to be very happy that you learned about this, but you're going to be a convert.
And because we're talking about price points and earnings versus sales and all that, if you're brand new to the Zazzle marketplace, before we start and dive into all the nitty-gritty details about what we're talking about in this video, if you know sort of the structure of it. So if you're creating a product on Zazzle, you post it for sale in your Zazzle store. Zazzle deals with customer service, with manufacturing, with shipping and handling, all of those things. So you as a seller on Zazzle need to pretty much just, and I say the word just, but it's a lot more than just posting a product for sale, because you have to be intentional about it with a good quality design and purpose to that product. But when someone purchases that product from your store, then they buy it for a certain amount of money, let's say $25 for a t-shirt, and then you earn a royalty from that. And we'll be talking about what you should be setting your royalty at in a minute, but just understand that concept that Zazzle does so much for you as a Zazzle seller that they obviously you don't take personally 100% of what that product sold for. It's this little bit of an understanding of sales versus earnings, right? Because you don't sell the t-shirt for $25 and earn $25. But although it sounds like you might be thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would I only want to make a couple dollars here and there? Well, that's where Elke and I come in as coaches and tell you what intentional products to make, and also give you that structure. If you were to decide to come into our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, we help our clients and our students understand the proven plan that we have to put in place, and also understand your inventory to reach a certain goal of earnings each month. And it is possible, because like Elke mentioned, we have some clients that are earning upwards of $150,000 a year because they have the inventory in place that is intentional inventory working for them in their store.
Set at a very relatively low royalty.
Yes.
On top of it. Yeah. But even while Jen was talking about this, like, this is the concept I didn't really sort of agree with initially either, because I was going like, well, How come I only get so much? Whereas like afterwards, once you realize that everything is done for you, plus you get to just hop onto a platform that's been around since 2005. They have a big reach and they have a good customer loyal base, and it's a customer that's actually willing to spend a lot of money. And a lot of people don't feel that way, that Zazzle is a place where you can have higher paying customers because they're currently in a state of lack with their own personal wealth. And so they think that if they can't afford it, no one else can, right? And so we got to bring that into the conversation, and we'll touch on it again later. But let's move into royalty.
Yeah. So like we mentioned, when you post a product for sale, once you get to the publishing page, you're able to add your title and tags and your description and then put it into a category and collections. So if you're brand new to Zazzle and all those words don't make sense to you, then understand that once you post your product for sale, you'll be asked to set the royalty before you publish it. And then you're able to choose your royalty. And I have a funny story that I can tell too that kind of relates to people.
I know it's coming.
When I first started out my Zazzle store, I was very much a newbie, like a noob, like someone who had no idea and was like, oh, well, that's really cool. I might do this. First of all, I thought that if I set my royalty higher, I would get more of the percentage of the sale. I was like, well, I've just found this really cool loophole that no one knows about. That if I set my royalty at 99%, I'll get 99% of $25. Like, remember that t-shirt that I said. So I posted a t-shirt for sale. Said, okay, I'm going to set my t-shirt at 99% royalty. And then all of a sudden it does like a proper calculation for you. So it says the original product price and then the amount of money that you will earn based on the royalty percentage. Just imagine
because it's a markup, right?
It's a markup. I didn't realize that it's a markup. So then all of a sudden I was about to post a t-shirt for sale at like $3,000 because I wanted a 99% royalty. I learned quickly that that's not the case. So we recommend to all of our clients and everyone who we speak to in our community, setting your royalty between 10 and 14.99%. This allows you to compete competitively within the marketplace. So other designers and other sellers, for example, if you are posting a t-shirt for sale, I keep saying t-shirt, but Zazzle offers over 1,500 design product types and styles for you to design on. So for example, a business card or a sticker, an invitation, clothing apparel, anything, accessories, even home decor and bedding. So you can choose any product type and put that royalty associated with that product type. But when you go, for example, on the Zazzle marketplace and you search for other bedding items, so let's say you're creating a duvet cover that Zazzle offers for you as a blank template, then if you set your royalty at 30%, then all of a sudden your duvet cover is going to be upwards of $300. And when you go into the Zazzle marketplace, the other duvet covers that are offered there are probably priced around $200 or $250, depending on the product type, right? So understanding that if the higher royalty that you place your product at, yes, you will earn more money because it will cost the end customer a higher price point, but you don't want to overprice or overtake your earnings and royalty and price yourself completely out of the marketplace, right? Because, earning a couple extra dollars here and there versus the customer buying it at a higher price point will probably defer them from your design unless you are a professional artist and you have that reputation already where people recognize that this is your artwork and you as your brand is priced at that price point because you're a luxurious item or
you can command that price. Now, and the reason that Jen even says something about 99% is that Zazzle does let you do that. Like you can go from 5 to 99%, but there's stipulations, and that's why that weird 14.99 comes in, because after that, as you raise your prices, actually Zazzle puts some things in there as stipulations in the user agreement that they say that they'll take a clawback, right? I don't know if, who knows why they've done that, more so just to stop you from going too high in order for you to stay competitive, because they don't want people pricing out of the market. But if you price it higher, which you can, up to 99%, then obviously you're going to price it even a little bit higher to make sure that you also incorporate those fees that you're going to end up having to pay to Zazzle because it's higher than 14.99%. But I also said that it's going to be, you can do anywhere from 5 to 99%. And we had a lot of clients and we did the same thing initially. We go like, let's test this out. When Zazzle allowed us to do 5%, was it worth it? And in the end, the answer is no, because being the budget, seller is actually not what's lucrative on the Zazzle marketplace, because it's a place where people come to find unique individual designs that are indie, and they're willing to pay that price, right? They're not going to pay like an exorbitant price, but they're willing to pay more of a higher end price, because first of all, higher end means price point means higher quality to some people. And then also they are paying for higher quality because it's not just the quality of the product itself, like whatever the physical product is, but it's what's printed on there, which is your creativity, right?
Mhm.
And you want to not be a budget artist. You don't want to be a budget graphic designer. You don't want to be a budget surface pattern designer. You want to get paid for your your artwork, your individual uniqueness. And people are willing to do that because that's why people come to Zazzle. They don't, it's not, Walmart,
Mhm.
right? And so don't forget that. And don't be tempted to go 5% because you're thinking that that's the way to crack the code and get into the
Yeah.
market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set your royalty at 5% because you think then it's cheaper. So then you can have as a lower price point so that you can actually, have the customer for whatever reason think,
Pick
oh,
yours.
pick yours because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
No.
And so that's why Jen put that up now about creating intentional products. So go for it.
Yeah, well, creating intentional products and designs. And then also this one here, compete on quality and uniqueness versus the price, right? Definitely keep yourself reasonable within the marketplace and don't price yourself at 99% royalty, but don't think of the price as your bargaining factor or your bargaining chip to why somebody will buy one of your products. There was this whole let's say fad that happened during COVID, definitely, where there were budget invitations that came out, and yes, that was something of a trend for weddings or birthday or whatever, because for whatever reason people wanted to spend less money on the invitation. However, that trend has now gone, because literally that budget invitation was just a piece of paper and not very low quality. And the people who actually invested a lot of time and effort, and you might have been one of these designers included, is that you're seeing now a huge drop in your sales because the budget items aren't selling anymore. So
Yeah.
it was a huge cash grab at the beginning when that trend was happening, but then you focused most of your time, or the designers that we know particularly focused most of their time designing these budget items because they thought that they could then compete based on the price point
Mhm.
rather than the quality and the uniqueness of the design. And now that they're seeing all these big drops in their earnings.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. Obviously, when the person thought that they were getting a deal, but they still wanted the quality.
Yeah.
And then when they got their invitations, there were a lot of returns, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of unhappy customers, which you lost as a customer, right? You and the Zazzle, as two different brands, were now all of a sudden like, well, I'm not ordering from that company anymore.
Yeah.
And so that was, and because of that, actually, my Zazzle's pared back. They used to advertise a lot more about budget items, and now they're realizing exactly what we're saying here is you have to present your item as a value item, right? You can't overprice it, but you can't underprice it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And Zazzle's doing a lot more marketing to now promote on their homepage and externally all of the good quality products. You've probably seen the progression of the designs that have been on the Zazzle marketplace. Elke and I, we've been on Zazzle since 2007. So you can definitely know and understand that we've seen the progression of the design quality and just the professionalism that is now presented on the Zazzle marketplace. Plus, because Elke and I have been coaches for the last 8 years, we have helped most of the people, people who have been on the homepage, all of those things. All of our clients are now in tune tune with what's designed, like what's trending in terms of the design and the
At that
quality
caliber,
and the
yeah.
caliber, like the quality of the caliber of what you need to post for sale to compete within the marketplace. So if you looked back at my first designs, they were absolutely horrible. And so Zazzle has definitely up-leveled the standards. And so here is where the quality and uniqueness and also creating intentional products come in, because you have to now know what that product is and how it can really serve a customer who is coming onto Zazzle to find your products, right? And so doing the research, understanding your niche, figuring out where you're supposed to be posting within the Zazzle marketplace, what type of products are competitive within that niche, and products that are necessary, matched up with the proper design, right? It has to serve a purpose. It has to be the proper product and have the proper design on it. Because if you pick a random product and then you add a random design to it that really doesn't make sense or serves a customer's needs in any way, then yes, you will have a whole bunch of products in your store, but unfortunately you won't see the results or the sales because that product really is not desirable to anyone, right? And I'm not saying that as a generalized statement to people who are not seeing results in their store, but you want to really take a look back and reflect at what's in your store, because they have to be intentional and they have to really serve that customer's need.
The
Right?
one thing that is like, when you're saying those things, my brain is going like, well, this is the thing that's the real problem, is most people go, it must be my royalty, or how I set my prices. And it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you actually do better when you set it between 10 and 14.99%. And then secondly, as Jen said, it has nothing to do with the royalty. It has to do with like the markup. It has to do with the customer saying, I like this.
Yeah.
Right? Or this is exactly what I was thinking. How did they know? Right? So if you can get into the head of the customer to that degree, then, and also deliver, because as Jen said earlier, the quality on the marketplace is just up leveled so much, because initially people were just using clip art or their own photography, or like it was very basic in terms of what was offered. Now the skill sets, and even though you might think if Jen and Elke say now it's really up leveled, maybe I can't compete. Yes, you can, because you can learn. And that's what's been happening with our clients. Most of our clients who started with us in 2017 were, sort of doing a good job of leveling up a little bit, but now they're exceptional and they can almost make a product and know how much it's going to sell, because they're so good at designing and so good at understanding the customer that they're trying to attract and delivering on what they're currently in need of and we're willing to pay cash for. Whereas, and we can see that also. We go like, well, the quality of what Zazzle offers is so much higher. And then we go to all of the landing pages and we go like, that's one of our clients. 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 Normally, at least 50% or more of every product that's on any of the landing pages and any of the popular sorts is from a client that has started from scratch and maybe not even been able to design, but now they've up-leveled their design so much and really gotten in tune with the market and the need. And that's why they're on the popular sort, and that's why they keep selling. That's why they get a ton of views. It's not because they didn't put their prices at 5%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the conclusion of the story is that intentional products equals maximize profit, because the title of this video is how to price your Zazzle products for maximum profit. But in the end, price point is just a factor, and the real determining driving force of someone buying something and having maximum profits in their sale in their store is the fact that you're serving the customer and you're providing quality products in your store and quality designs in your store that will translate into possible sales. And that's doing the proper research with your niche and figuring out what products sell within your niche and really honing in on your design skills and making sure that your design competes within the marketplace.
And one more thing is, it's not, as Jen mentioned earlier, per sale that you have to look at. Because if you say, okay, well, that all means that I'm going to make $2 off of a t-shirt, bringing it back to that example, then you just have to figure out how to attract a bigger audience, because they're out there and that will give you the extra sales so that you actually do end up with the dollars that you want in your pocket, compared to, making it that so important that this one or couple of sales is what's going to give you the full amount of dollars that you need. I hope that makes it sense, because it's reverse psychology, really, right? The more you're able to provide a product that's quality at a reasonable price, but not like excessive, that will attract the most number of people. You'll get the chance to sell to the most number and make the most profit.
Mm-hmm. And sort of playing on that thought there, we go above and beyond in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, where we're able to speak with you as a potential client and have you understand what type of inventory needs to be in your store based on your sales goals, right? In terms, let's say you want to earn a certain amount of money each month, then you have to really look at what inventory is in your store and what sells month by month. And do you actually even have enough inventory to sell to make that amount of money? Because like another funny example, like me, is that when I first started out on Zazzle, I had an earnings goal, let's say, of $5,000 a month. And I looked at my store and Elke was like, well, clearly you're not reaching that goal because you only have a certain amount of items in your store. There's no way, unless you sell 200 t-shirts per day, that you're going
of those, couple of products,
of the couple of products, that you're going to get to your goal. And so going above and beyond in our PDA coaching program, we really help you understand your goal setting techniques and the way that you present your goals in respect with your inventory as well, and how they both match up together. Because that's how we are helping our higher end clients now, who are our top earners, earn over $150,000 a year because they have the proper inventory in their store.
Right. But let's just start at the beginning, intentional products.
Yes.
And so what we want to do here, we have two exceptional, helpful things for you that are in the link in the description. One is what niches are trending and popular. Another one is, if you're just starting out, this is going to help you with the foundation of learning how to set up your store properly, make a product intentionally, and also promote. However, do you want to talk about the Sold Bootcamp?
Yes. Well, we do have our Sold Bootcamp coming up, and it is in March. Starts March 5th and it goes until the 19th. It's a 2-week intensive where you will come into our private community. You get access to a private Facebook group, and we will be covering 3 phases in 3 trainings and then a masterclass to help you amplify your Zazzle sales and set the foundations for your Zazzle business. The first phase of training is called Kickstart Your POD Business, where we will cover your brand and your niche, defining those. The second phase is called Maximize Your Sales, which we will be showcasing what an intentional product is, really diving deep into
and giving you reviews.
And giving reviews, yes, on your products. And then the third phase of training is called Amplify Your Sales, where we will be speaking about easy promotion and advanced promotion with regards to internal promotion on Zazzle and also external. And then our masterclass is called Amplify Your Zazzle Sales in 1 month. So these are the trainings and are the whole sort of container of what we're creating this Sold Bootcamp is. Like I mentioned, is in a Facebook community. And so after all of those trainings that we are doing, you will go in and post your homework for review. That's where Elke comes in and said that we'll give you personalized recorded video reviews of your homework for each of those phases. In addition to the training and the reviews, we will be going in and doing mindset calls daily and prompting you to communicate and interact within the community and get to know all of the other designers in the Sold Bootcamp. And it's just going to be an amazing 2-week experience.
And if you're watching this video and it's after March, then sorry, you're not allowed in. But if you can get in time, you're watching this now, then it's from March 5th to the 19th. You definitely have to sign up. We won't be doing another one of these for months. You've got to get into this. People just love it, and it's just the best to help you move from where you are now to take the really important next step for you to succeed on the Zazzle platform. So make sure you click that link and sign up so that we can see you on the inside.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.